Your future isn't being built right now. It was decided 3 nights ago, while you were asleep. There's a pattern hidden in the oldest texts humanity ever wrote. Jonah spent 3 nights in the whale. Jesus spent 3 nights in the tomb. Paul spent 3 nights blind in Damascus. Every major transformation in biblical history follows the same structure: 3 nights of darkness before emergence. But this isn't metaphor, it's physiology. Your brain doesn't process major life changes during the day. Change happens in the only window where your identity stops fighting back: REM sleep, across 3 consecutive nights. French physicist Jean-Pierre Garnier-Mallet discovered something stranger. During sleep, a double version of you experiences time 7 times faster. That double tests potential futures, discards timelines that don't work, and delivers one final probability back to your waking consciousness. 3 nights is exactly how long it takes for that delivery to complete. The person you'll become next month, that version already happened, in accelerated time. During 3 nights, you won't remember. And if you knew how to work with this process, you could consciously influence which future arrives. That's what this video reveals: the hidden mechanism behind transformation and how to use it before your next 3 nights begin. Time doesn't move the way you think it does. You've been taught that your future is ahead of you, something you build through effort and intention. But what if the future arrives first, then you live it? This is where spirituality and science converge. The Bible encodes it in numbers: 3 days, 3 nights. Neuroscience measures it in REM cycles and synaptic pruning. Quantum physics hints at it through timeline collapse. Major transformation doesn't happen gradually, it happens in collapse events. A collapse event is when multiple possible futures fold into one singular outcome, and the human nervous system can only process one of these collapses every 3 nights. Why 3? Because that's the exact duration required for emotional trauma to be rewritten in memory, neural pathways to be pruned and rebuilt, the double to complete its accelerated journey, your identity to stop recognizing itself. After 3 nights, something irreversible has occurred. The person who went to sleep on night 1 is not the same consciousness that wakes on day 4. And the strangest part, you won't notice it happened, but everyone around you will. The hidden clock inside consciousness. There's a clock inside you that doesn't measure hours, it measures readiness for transformation. The Hebrews called it the appointed time. Modern chronobiology calls it ultradian cycling, but they're pointing to the same thing. Your consciousness has seasons, and transformation only happens in one of them. Clock time versus consciousness time. You live by 2 clocks simultaneously. Clock time, chronos, is linear, but consciousness time, kairos, is cyclical. Sometimes an hour feels like 10 minutes. Sometimes 10 minutes feels eternal. Major life transformation can only occur during specific windows in consciousness time, not clock time. You can work 80-hour weeks for a year and make 0 internal progress, then spend 3 nights in the right state and your entire trajectory shifts. The ultradian rhythm of the soul. Your body operates on multiple rhythms. You know circadian rhythms, the 24-hour cycle, but nested inside are ultradian rhythms, 90 to 120-minute cycles governing focus, emotion, and memory. Every 90 minutes, your brain enters an ultradian trough, where identity becomes temporarily fluid. During the day, you resist these, but at night, during REM sleep, you can't. Across 3 consecutive nights, each REM cycle goes deeper. Each trough carves further into identity. By the 3rd night, the old self is structurally dismantled. Biblical math, why 3 is not symbolic. Every transformation in Scripture follows the same pattern. Jonah, 3 days in the whale before rebirth. Jesus, 3 days in the tomb before resurrection. Paul, 3 days of blindness before identity shift. Moses, 3 days of preparation before revelation. In Hebrew thought, 3 days meant the minimum time required for irreversible change. Why? Because they observed what neuroscience confirms. The human nervous system needs approximately 72 hours to overwrite a core identity pattern. 1 night? You might have a powerful dream, but your waking identity reasserts itself. 2 nights, the pattern starts to crack, but there's still gravitational pullback. 3 nights, the structure collapses. There's no going back. The inverted hourglass. You've been taught you build your future upward, but transformation doesn't move that way. The future isn't rising toward you, the future is falling toward you. During those 3 nights, your double is experiencing potential timelines at 7x speed, testing routes, narrowing probabilities. On the 3rd night, the final grain drops. One timeline solidifies, the others vanish. You wake up on day 4, and the future has already been selected. When the clock has started, watch for these signs: restlessness without cause, repetitive symbolic dreams, sudden aversion to previously normal things, time distortion, physical sensations of change, synchronicities clustering. These aren't mystical signs, they're physiological indicators that your hidden clock has activated. Your transformation has already begun. The neuroscience of collapse. Your brain doesn't gradually evolve, it catastrophically reorganizes, and it can only do that when you're unconscious. The REM burst phenomenon. Not all REM sleep is equal. On the 1st night, your REM is standard. On the 2nd night, REM bursts get longer, more intense, accessing deeper memory structures. By the 3rd night, your REM cycles enter theta-gamma coupling, a rare state where slowest and fastest frequencies synchronize. In theta-gamma coupling, your brain can simultaneously access deep memory structures and high-level processing. It can rewrite the story about who you are, not edit it, rewrite it from the foundation. Synaptic pruning, the death before rebirth. Every night, your brain destroys neural connections no longer serving you. On a normal night, this is subtle, but during a 3-night transformation cycle, the pruning goes exponential. By the 3rd night, entire networks of identity are being dismantled, career pathways deleted, relationship patterns erased, fear connections severed. Something is neurologically dying, and you can't feel it happening. You just wake up on day 4 and notice certain things that used to matter don't anymore. Why change feels suddenly? People say, it happened so suddenly, one day I just knew. But nothing happened suddenly. 3 nights of invisible restructuring reached critical mass. Think of ice melting. Temperature rises gradually, 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, nothing changes. Then you hit 32 degrees Fahrenheit, phase shift, solid becomes liquid. That's your brain during 3 nights, gradual accumulation beneath the surface, then catastrophic reorganization. Why 3? Because that's how long it takes for Night 1, identify which patterns need to change. Night 2, dismantle old structures while testing new configurations. Night 3, lock in the new pattern and eliminate alternatives. After 3 nights, transformation is structurally irreversible. The chemistry of transformation. Night 1, dopamine spike. Your brain primes for change. You feel restless, excited, anxious without knowing why. Night 2, norepinephrine surge. Emotional reconsolidation. Old traumatic memories are reprocessed under new contexts. Intense dreams occur. Night 3, acetylcholine flood. Hyperplasticity. Your brain builds the new you at the synaptic level. By day 4, you have a completely different neurochemical baseline. You are chemically a different person. The night when identity stops resisting. Your ego is a daytime construct maintained by your prefrontal cortex, but during deep sleep, the prefrontal cortex goes offline. For the first time in 16+ hours, there's no internal resistance, no one defending the old story. This is the only window where transformation can occur without self-sabotage. The invisible decision. Every major life decision you think you consciously made was actually decided during sleep. The breakup you suddenly initiated, decided over 3 nights of neural pruning. The career change that felt right, installed during 3 nights of synaptic rewiring. Your conscious mind doesn't make decisions, it receives them. The real decision-making happens during those 3 nights. And when you wake up, it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like clarity, like you've always known. Because by the time your conscious mind registers it, the neural infrastructure supporting it has already been built. The invisible decision. You have a double, not metaphorically, literally, a version of you that exists in accelerated time, experiencing reality approximately 7 times faster than your waking consciousness. And during those 3 nights, your double is testing your future. The mechanics of the double. Every time you fall asleep, your consciousness splits. One version remains in your body, but another, the fast you, enters what Garnier-Mallet calls temporal openings. While your body experiences 8 hours of sleep, your double experiences 56 hours of accelerated consciousness. In that state, your double runs simulations, tests scenarios, explores potential timelines. After 3 consecutive nights, approximately 168 accelerated hours, your double has enough data to make a final decision. And that decision gets delivered to your waking consciousness as intuition or just knowing. The testing protocol. Your double doesn't care what you want. It only cares what you can emotionally sustain. Night 1. Scanning for desire. Your double identifies what you're reaching for, reading your emotional signature. Night 2. Stress testing. Your double runs that outcome forward, testing how you'd respond to challenges and identity shifts required to sustain it. Night 3. Final selection. Based on stress testing, your double makes the call. If the timeline is emotionally coherent, it delivers that future. If not, it delivers the next most coherent option. By morning of day 4, the negotiation is over. Why 3 nights is sufficient? To test a timeline adequately, your double needs to identify baseline, simulate obstacles, and confirm sustainability. Each night builds on the previous one. 1 night isn't enough data. 4 would be redundant. The pattern stabilizes by the 3rd. And your double doesn't test 1 timeline per night. It tests dozens. Night 1 might explore 30 trajectories. Night 2 narrows to 10. Night 3 chooses between 2 or 3. When you wake on day 4, only 1 remains. The others, erased from probability. The moment of discard. There's a specific moment, usually early hours of the 3rd night, where your double discards all timelines except 1. People report sudden full-body chills, feeling of something clicking into place, vivid symbolic dreams, keys, bridges, doorways. Waking at 3 to 4 a.m. with absolute clarity. That moment wasn't random. It was when multiple futures collapsed into one. Coherence versus desire. Your double doesn't deliver the future you want. It delivers the future you're coherent with. You might desire wealth, but if your subconscious is wired for scarcity, your double won't select a timeline where you sustain wealth. This is why positive thinking doesn't work. Your double isn't listening to words, it's reading your nervous system. The only way to change which future your double selects is to change your emotional coherence before the 3 nights begin. Signs your double is negotiating. During the day, emotional swings, feeling split between desires, repetitive intrusive thoughts, physical restlessness. During the night, repeating dream themes, waking with solutions, feeling more tired after sleep, sensing something is being decided. After the 3rd night, sudden unshakable clarity, loss of interest in previous options, calm inevitability, external circumstances shifting. If you're experiencing these, your double is in final negotiation. The 3rd night, point of no return. 1 is possibility, 2 is tension, but 3 is resolution. In every transformation story, it's always the 3rd day, the 3rd night, that marks irreversible shift. The 3rd night isn't just another night, it's the collapse point. The biblical architecture of 3. Jonah, 2 days suspended in darkness, 3rd day, vomited onto shore, reborn, permanently changed. Jesus, crucified Friday, entombed Saturday, resurrected Sunday. The resurrection happens at a specific moment on the 3rd day. Paul, 3 days blind, caught between identities, 3rd day, scales fall from his eyes. Old Saul is gone. The 3rd day is always the moment of irreversible transformation, not change, structural reconfiguration. The neurophysiological peak. On the 3rd night, your brain enters a state it only reaches after 48 hours of consecutive processing. REM cycles are deepest, prefrontal cortex fully released, limbic system reprocessed, hippocampus consolidated new pathways. But what makes the 3rd night unique? Gamma wave synchronization. Gamma waves normally spike briefly, but on the 3rd night, gamma waves sustain for extended periods, creating hypersynchrony, disparate brain parts communicating with unprecedented coherence. In that moment of total neural coherence, your brain locks in the new configuration. Not gradual integration, instantaneous crystallization. Quantum collapse of probability. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in superposition until observed. Observation collapses the probability wave into single definite state. Your timeline works the same way. For 2 nights, you're in superposition. Multiple futures exist simultaneously. But on the 3rd night, the wave function collapses. All alternate timelines dissolve. One becomes real. The others vanish. Not just unlikely, but impossible. This is why decisions after the 3rd night feel inevitable, because neurologically and quantum mechanically, other options don't exist anymore. The midnight window. There's a specific window, 2 to 4 a.m. on the 3rd night when collapse occurs, the 3rd watch in biblical texts. Your body temperature is lowest, cortisol minimum, melatonin peak. Biologically, you're as close to death as you can be while alive. In that liminal state, transformation can finalize. If you've woken during this window during intense change, you know the feeling. Air feels heavier, time suspended, presence observing from within. That's you encountering the moment of your own collapse. Why there's no going back. After the 3rd night, you can't reverse the change, even if you want to. You can try to behave like your old self, but the neural infrastructure supporting it no longer exists. Synaptic pathways were pruned, emotional associations rewritten, neurochemical baseline shifted. Trying to go back is like running software on reformatted hardware. The code doesn't execute. This is why people who try to go back feel profoundly uncomfortable. Not guilt, not fear, neurological incompatibility. How to recognize the collapse. Immediate signs, day 4 to 5. Everything feels slightly unfamiliar. Micro decisions made differently, old triggers don't work, strange calm. Medium term, week 1 to 2. Stopped automatic habits, intolerable conversations, irrelevant goals, unexpected opportunities. People notice something's different. Long term, month 1 to 3. Old life feels like it happened to someone else. Can't remember why you cared. Cosmically right decisions. External reality reorganized. If these appear after intense 3-night period, your collapse is complete. The finality is the gift. The 3rd night removes the burden of choosing. You don't have to deliberate endlessly. The 3rd night decides based on deepest truth of what you can sustain. The negotiation is over. This is your path now. Walk it. The emergence of a new self. Day 4 arrives. Same ceiling, same room, same body, but something is fundamentally different. You can't name what it is. This is the emergence phase, and it's going to feel wrong at first. Not bad, just off. The disorientation period. Your brain has been restructured, your emotional baseline shifted, your decision-making algorithms rewritten. But your narrative self, the story about who you are, is still running the old script. This creates identity lag. You'll reach for your phone to text someone, then stop mid-motion thinking, "Why was I doing that?" You'll look in the mirror and recognize your face, but feel like you're seeing through different eyes. This is integration lag. Your new self is already operating. Your old self-concept hasn't caught up. Micro-perceptions of change. Watch for different food orders without thinking, different routes to work, skipped habits maintained for years, conversations that used to energize now drain. Music you loved sounds grating. You don't react to old provocations. Goals suddenly seem meaningless. These aren't conscious decisions, they're the new operating system running. How others perceive the change. Your new self will notice your transformation before you do. They'll say, "You seem different. Did something happen? You're more calm or confident or distant." The new self is already broadcasting. Your conscious mind just hasn't tuned in yet. And here's where it gets challenging. People who benefited from your old self will resist. Friends needed you in a certain role. Partners relied on old patterns. Family had you figured out. But you can't go back. The neural infrastructure is gone. Spontaneous realignments. Your external reality will reorganize without you orchestrating it. Jobs end or opportunities appear. Relationships dissolve or deepen. Living situations shift. This isn't magic, it's coherence. Your new baseline frequency broadcasts a different signal. Reality responds to signal, not intention. Stabilizing the new identity. 1. Stop trying to explain yourself. Let the new self operate. 2. Don't force consistency with old identity. Let old coping mechanisms go. 3. Notice without judgment. I didn't want that anymore. 4. Give yourself 30 days. Week 1, disorienting. Week 2, experimental. Week 3, integrative. Week 4, normal. 5. Protect the new frequency. Some people will fade, let them. Some will push back, set boundaries. The moment you recognize yourself. 2 to 4 weeks after the third night, you'll look in the mirror and think, "Oh, this is who I am now." With quiet recognition, the emergence is complete. The new self isn't new anymore. It's just you. How to prepare for your next 3 nights. Can you control this process? You can't control what your double decides, but you can influence which futures your double has access to test. Step 1. Identify what needs to collapse. The exhaustion test. What are you tired of defending? The repetition test. What keeps showing up in different forms? The relief test. What would secretly relieve you if it just vanished? Write these down. Your double already knows. You're making it conscious. Step 2. Create emotional coherence. Your double responds to what you feel consistently, not what you think. Evening protocol, 1 to 3 nights before. Sit in darkness or dim light, 20 minutes. Breathe, 4 seconds in, 7 hold, 8 out, 5 minutes. Ask your body, what future am I actually ready for? Feel the answer.
I trust you to test the timelines I'm ready for. I release control. Feel into the new identity state, not circumstances, the feeling. Let it saturate your system. 3 to 5 minutes. This is calibration, not manifestation. Step 3. Remove interference. Avoid urgent decision-making, high-stimulation environments, anxiety spirals, substances altering sleep architecture. Embrace stillness, walks, quiet evenings, time alone, rhythmic movement, yoga, swimming, early sleep, minimal information input. Step 4. Ask the right questions. Night before 3 nights begin. Question 1. What am I holding on to that prevents the future I'm ready for? Question 2. What does the version of me on the other side feel like? Question 3. What do I need to know before this begins? Let answers arise spontaneously. Then sleep. Step 5. Surrender control. Once 3 nights start, get out of the way. Don't direct dreams. Don't analyze sensations. Don't second guess. If you wake during the night, especially night 3, don't check phone. Just breathe, feel, go back to sleep. The work is happening in the background. Let it run. The art of allowing. You don't create transformation. You create conditions where transformation can occur. Coherence in emotional state, stillness in nervous system, trust in the process. Do that, and your 3 nights won't be random. They'll be inevitable. The timeline you're already living. The reality you're living right now was already decided, not by fate, by you, by a version of you that existed in accelerated time during 3 nights you don't consciously remember. Every choice you're making today, already tested. Every opportunity showing up, already selected. Every person you're encountering, already screened. Your present is the past's delivered future. The retroactive reveal. Think back to a major shift in your life. Can you remember the 3 nights before that shift? Probably not in detail. Maybe restless sleep, some vivid dreams. But during those 3 nights, your double was testing dozens of timelines, and the one you ended up living was the final selection. You didn't decide to make that career change. Your double already tested it and confirmed it was sustainable. The sudden decision wasn't sudden. It was the delivery of a process that ran while you were unconscious. The illusion of free will. What if most free will is actually delayed awareness of decisions already made? What if your waking consciousness isn't the author, but the narrator telling a story about choices finalized during sleep? Neuroscience shows brain activity precedes conscious awareness by up to 7 seconds. But what if that gap isn't 7 seconds? What if it's 3 nights? The 3-night cycles you didn't notice. You've been going through 3-night cycles your entire life. Every major transformation, career shifts, relationship changes, awakenings, reconfigurations, all preceded by 3 nights of accelerated processing. Your life is a series of plateaus and collapses. Plateau, stable identity, consistent choices, normal time, lasts weeks, months, or years. Collapse, 3 nights of processing, double tests timelines, brain restructures, new baseline locks, exactly 72 hours. New plateau, different version of yourself. What was impossible now feels obvious. The present as delivered future. Your present moment is not spontaneous, it's implemented. The job you have, selected 3 nights before you decided to apply. The city you live in, locked 3 nights before you realized you needed to move. The fact you're watching this video, decided during a 3-night cycle weeks ago. Your double tested a timeline where you encountered this information, confirmed you were ready, and delivered it. There are no accidents, only implementations. Why you can't remember. Memory formation during transformation works differently. Your hippocampus is offline, prefrontal cortex deactivated. This is by design. If you remembered every tested timeline, you'd be paralyzed by decision overload. So, your double does the work. Your waking mind receives the result, The process remains hidden. You don't remember the 3 nights, you just wake up knowing. The proof is in the pattern. Look back at your last major decision. Ask, can you pinpoint the exact moment you decided? Was there a 3 to 5 day period before where you felt strange? Did the decision feel inevitable once made? Did people comment you seemed different right before? If yes to most, you've identified a past 3-night cycle. Living inside your double selection. Your current circumstances are not random, they're precisely calibrated. Challenges you face, designed to push you toward the next collapse. Opportunities appearing, aligned with the timeline you're double selected. People showing up, either supporting current path or triggering next shift. Nothing is wasted, nothing is accidental.
You're living inside a highly intelligent system, constantly testing, selecting, and delivering optimal timelines. The responsibility of awareness. If your present is the result of past cycles, your future is being decided during upcoming cycles. The coherence you create today determines which timeline your double will select next. Living in fear now, your double will test and deliver more fear. Cultivating trust now, your double will test and deliver expansion. You're choosing your future through the signal you're broadcasting right now. The ultimate freedom. You have no control over the process, and that's precisely what gives you power. You can't control your double, you can't force specific timelines. But you can influence which futures are available by changing your emotional baseline and nervous system coherence. You're not the author of your life, you're the environment in which your life is authored. Create coherent environment, double selects coherent timelines. Create chaotic environment, double selects survival timelines. The system is perfect. Work with it, not against it. The final realization. The life you're living now, every detail, was selected for you during 3 nights you don't remember. Your double tested alternatives, your brain restructured during sleep, your waking consciousness received the result. Now you're here, thinking you're making it up as you go, but you're not. You're implementing a plan finalized while you slept. And your next 3 nights? They're coming. The only question, what signal will you be broadcasting when they arrive? The choice you made last night. You've made it to the end, and that wasn't random. Your double tested a timeline where you encountered this information. It confirmed you were ready, and it delivered you here. Which means something's about to shift. Soon, within the next few weeks, you're going to enter your next 3-night cycle. And when you do, everything you've learned here will activate. You'll recognize the restlessness, the symbolic dreams, the sense that something is being decided, and instead of resisting, you'll allow it. You'll create coherence, remove interference, trust your double to test the timelines you're ready for. And on the 4th day, you'll wake up different, not dramatically, but structurally. 3 months from now, you'll look back and realize this video was part of the delivery system, part of the timeline already selected for you. So, here's my final question. What if the future you're about to live has already been tested, approved, and locked in during 3 nights you don't remember? What if transformation isn't something you create, but something you allow to arrive? The 3 nights are coming. Your double is already working. The future is descending. All you have to do is be coherent enough to receive it. Sleep well. Your next 3 nights are closer than you think.